Hello everyone. In today's video we're going to learn about the general ledger. So what is a general ledger? Let's look at the concept and terminologies of what we need to learn. So first of all, we need to learn about the double entry principle. The double entry principle states that for every debit there must be a credit entry of the same value. What does that mean? That means for every transaction. So if you don't understand what transactions are and the cash book and the accounting cycle, could you please refer back to our previous videos? So for every transaction being recorded, there must be two accounts involved and there must be two sides, which means in one book, for example, in the cash book, if a transaction is recorded on the debit side, there must be another book or another account to be opened so that this transaction will be recorded on the credit side to complete the double entry principle. So it must be on the debit side and on the credit side in two different accounts. So that's why we have to open up a general ledger so that our accounts or our transactions will be recorded on debit side and the credit side. So in simple terms, a general ledger it includes individuals accounts for owner's equity, individuals accounts for owner's equity, liabilities, assets, income, expenses, and final accounts, which means so every account or every transaction recorded this account. Useful rules to follow when posting to the general ledger. Accounts on the debit side of the cash book. Accounts on the debit side of the cash book are posted on the credit side of the ledger. Remember, we are doing the general ledger to complete the double entry principle that states that for every debit, there must be a credit. So accounts that are on the debit side of the cash book, in the general ledger, we must put them on the credit side. For example, this cash book, we have recorded capital on the debit side and this sal, the data, on the debit side. So in our general ledger, this capital will be on the credit side. As another example, wages is recorded on the credit side of the cash book. So on the wages account, cash where wages was recorded will be on the debit side. What is on the debit side will go to the credit side, and what is on the credit side goes to the debit side. So the useful rules continues. Now, in details of the general ledger, when we are now going to post to the general ledger, in details of the general ledger, we should write the column of money in which the amount was recorded in the cash book. For example, in the cash book, we have a column for bank and cash. So if cash, the amount of this transaction is recorded in cash. So in the detail column of the general ledger, we are going to write cash. So this example is not so quite clear, but you are going to see it in more details as I'm going to explain further. So, all right, now let's look at this practical example here. So this cash book was actually taken from the Accounting Made Easy textbook by Shilomboleni, S Shilomboleni. So it's a very nice book. You can check it out. So this video was not sponsored by him or by his book selling thing, but the book is actually nice. You can check it out. It's it's having very nice examples for accounting. So yeah, Accounting Made Easy grade 9. Now let's look at this cash book. Now if you look on the debit side, we have capital, Aljoson, rent income, sales, cash, S book until the cash book is closed off or balanced off. And then on the credit side, we have purchases, carriage inward, advertisement, NAMIB. So these are the transactions that how it was recorded. So if you don't know how to record transactions in the cash book, you will refer back to our previous learning videos where we're explaining a cash book in details. Now let's look at now how this was posted on the general ledger. Remember what is on the debit side. The debit side starts from here and ends here. What is on the debit side will be posted to the credit side, and what's on the credit side will go on the debit. Now these are the answers are also from the same cash from the same textbook. a very nice accounting textbook. I mean, so capital here, this balancing words means when it was closed off. Capital, let's look at this side. Remember on the rules they said the column of money in which it was recorded in the cash book is what we write in details. Now this is details for capital. Now we have on the second, the date we wrote details is is bank and the amount. It's coming from cash book number 5. So on the debit side, capital, its amount was on the bank and the cash book number is 5. So another example, let's look at fixed deposit. Now fixed deposit here also is bank, which means in the cash book this amount 50,000 was in the bank column, and the cash book number does not change because it's all coming from the same cash book number, and it's individual account, so every account must have its own posting for the general ledger to complete the double entry principle. So this fixed deposit was also maybe recorded on the credit side. Hey, why am I saying maybe? Because the rule says what's on the credit side comes on the debit side, and here it's recorded on the debit side. Let's look at it. Okay, fixed deposit on the 31st, it's on the credit side. So this is exactly how it's. Another example, we look at sales. Sales is recorded on the credit side here, which means in the cash book is coming from the debit side. The date, bank, because the amount for sales, this 1,800 and this 2,100 in the cash book were all recorded in the bank column. So let's look at one example with cash. Bad debt recovered is on the credit side in the ledgers, because in the cash book it was on the debit side. The amount was recorded in the cash column. So as you see, the amount for sales 1,800 and sales 2,100 in the ledgers is written bank, because these amounts are recorded in the bank column, and bad debt recovered is written cash because the amount 5,300 was recorded in the cash column, and these ones on the general ledger were all posted to the credit side because in the cash book they are recorded on the debit side. Question time. You should please answer these questions in the comment section below. Now, number 1, what is the double entry system? Now, what is a double entry system? If you followed nicely, answer this question in the comment section below. Why is the general ledger being prepared? Why are we preparing the general ledger? And if a transaction is recorded in the credit side of the cash book, on which side of the general ledger will it be posted? Answer these questions in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. So please share, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. And also go on IG on Instagram and follow my account Modis Center. We sell very nice new things like phones, footwear. Thank you.